Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 2 dropped over 7 years ago. Unfortunately, I missed out on it. As a new player that started in Chapter 6, I played Fortnite OG Season 1 and had a blast, but everyone told me that Season 2 is when peak Fortnite truly began. I've decided to jump in to see what I missed and what all the hype is about. To make things more interesting, I won't stop playing until I get a victory royale. If you missed the last episode, you can find the link in the upper right-hand corner in the description below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and travel back to Chapter 1, Season 2 with Fortnite OG. So the next part of this journey got a little delayed. That's my bad. I took a little break to enjoy the end of Chapter 6 Season 1 and to test out all the new stuff that came into the game with Lawless. I was having a pretty good time breaking into vaults and stealing loot, but before I knew it, OG Season 2 was calling me once again. I dove back into the game, having some close matches, exploring new areas of the map that I had not seen, and, well, I won't lie to you guys, the footage got corrupted. Yeah, so we lost a few games in there. But at the end of the day, nothing too eventful happened. I didn't get a win, so really no loss. I am back today to dive in once again, sporting the bright and bombastic Cuddle Team Specialist skin. I'm a little cuddly boy, I'm not afraid to admit it, and as you know, you can't really be on Cuddle Team if you don't have a team to begin with. I have decided that I want to continue this journey in squads, and I'm doing that for a few different reasons. Number one, I feel like this is a good way to shake up the series. Number two, I feel it'll be more entertaining to have other players to make commentary about. And number three, in every other Battle Royale game I've played, I've had teammates to help out in case things get hairy. Does this make me a big baby, maybe weak or bad at the game? I'm sure some of you may think so, but I guess I might as well just embrace being a baby Cuddle Team boy, you know? Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into some games. Okay, so not counting corrupted games that I recorded that are now lost media, this is Game 7. We ping Snobby Shores as our landing area, but before I know it, our Emmy has pinged a random location near Dusty Depot and is jumping out of the battle bus without us. I kind of forgot that people don't always go with the game plan the rest of the team sets up, but you know, I want to be a good teammate, so I hop out, hoping that this isn't a sign of things to come. We land at Dusty Depot, picking up an array of armaments and topping off our shields. Not a bad start. Aside from the fact that my team seems to be scattered all over the map. I even share some shields with Emmy to prove that there's no hard feelings about the whole chaotic drop thing, because we are a team after all. A Cuddle Team. After looting the nearby factory area with Danny Phantom himself, we try to rendezvous with our team when we spot an enemy taking a zip line up to higher ground. I take a shot with my sniper and miss, but instead of taking advantage of the fact that I am in the open and he is on the high ground, the enemy takes the zip line back down into the waiting arms of Danny. Mr. Fenton helps him go ghost, and I count that as an assist, even though it's clear that I'm rusty from my time away from OG. Worried about my ability to snipe without warming up, I elect to take a grenade launcher with me for now. Here's hoping that I don't come to regret that in the near to immediate future. We use a nearby rift to regroup with Emmy on the high ground, and I spot an enemy trudging along. I try to say hello with some grenade spam, but that does little more than distract them while my teammates take them down. I'm really starting to second guess this decision about leaving the sniper rifle behind, but we're here now, we just have to deal with it. Big Dill pings a nearby baddie, and I start to bound off that way to offer my briny brother backup when a barrage of bullets almost blasts my backside. I use a grenade to force them away from the natural cover of the mountain and eliminate them with the help of Danny Phantom. See, this is the kind of teamwork I need. If we all just stick together and have each other's back, there's no way we can lose this game. We use the rift once again to take the high ground once again, and I spent some time trying to set up a campfire I picked up off the ground, but I am not able to, I guess. I know I'm probably doing something wrong here, or Fortnite just decided I didn't need that 11 missing health. Oh well. We spend a good amount of time on top of this mountain, getting to know each other as a team and scouting around for nearby players. And during this time I realize how this map really makes high ground such an overpowered position, especially in zero build mode. There is not a lot of cover, and if you take one of these power positions with a decent team, you're pretty much set until the endgame zones force you to move. This rings doubly true if you have a sniper rifle and decent aim, but without either, there's not much I can do at this point. Big Dill eventually gets bored and starts moving off towards a nearby supply drop. We hit the rift and head in, but a nearby team also wants that sweet, sweet loot. I try to carefully lob some grenades at a position a nearby enemy retreated to, but man, I cannot make this thing work for me, and I am really kicking myself for picking it up. I retreat back as Danny Phantom gets dropped, and after lobbing out some more useless grenades as a distraction, I pick up Danny and yeet him back to safety. After Danny is up, I immediately try to chug some slurp juice, only to get shot from two sides by the advancing team. Damn, they are coordinated and know what they're doing. I'm really annoyed at myself for not using the house as cover, and Emmy throws me inside, but it's only a matter of time before the synchronized kill squad wipes us all out. As I watch my teammates get gunned down in 7th place, I know I have to get it together because I made way too many mistakes and got way too distracted this match. Game 8. We decide to drop Tilted Towers, a little late if I'm being honest, making a risky drop even riskier. We drop into a contested building and grab a semi-automatic pistol. Heading upstairs, we go to open a chest before an enemy drops down onto our level. We make short work of him, but we can hear his buddy nearby. Eventually, we try to make a break for it, only to run directly into that other enemy. We manage to get some decent tags and eventually take them down as well. That's a hell of a way to start a game, but we made it work. Alright, maybe I spoke too soon. My teammates take down another enemy as I sit and watch, apparently. I don't know if it's because I don't have much experience with these weapons or what, but you can tell I was second guessing myself so bad. I just felt so out of it, and you could probably tell because even when the second team rolled up, my play was questionable. I mean, I threw bandages at the enemies. What am I doing? I reorganized my loadout into something I'm more comfortable with, which includes dropping this golden silenced pistol for another shotgun. Hopefully this can help me be somewhat useful in the next team fight. After an absurdly long time looting up this POI, we leave through the notorious river area with a blue AR, a green pump, and a green tack for our weapons, with some bunkers for utility and a slurp for healing. I'm starting to feel like my ideal loadout is 3 weapons and a healing and utility item for OG, but let me know what you use in the comments below. We eventually hear some gunshots to the south. We're about to go crash that party when our post-apocalyptic football player teammate pings that there's an enemy near him. Being the good cuddle teammates we are, we dip back and try to provide support. Alright, house, get it together. I'm gonna start this fight off right. Or I'll open with a shotgun blast from too far away, then tab past my AR to follow up and offer the enemy a nice slurp juice instead. Worried that someone's gonna steal my heals, I rush in to get it and accidentally pick up a pistol. Then somehow pick up the slurp as I'm already shooting my AR, swapping it out and starting to sip in the middle of combat. My teammates clean up and I accept my title as possibly the worst Fortnite player in the history of the game. I mean, this is just straight up embarrassing. Not too much time to focus on my lackluster performance though, because another team is pressing up on us from behind. Pause. The enemies on the high ground force us to retreat back towards the ramshackle shack nearby. Before we get too comfortable though, more enemies push up on our rear. Wait, that's not what Axolotl and the football raider take down the new threat, and we once again focus on the high ground baddies. I make a supply run and grab an extra slurp for my team, which I try to drop, but instead dance to Aesop Ferg. Oh my gosh, this game. It's the thought that counts, right? Better late than never, I guess. The enemy snipers are clearly just looking for a pick to open the fight, and unfortunately, they get it. Post-apocalyptic football man goes down, and as expected, the enemy charges. I open some shots trying to buy my team time, but they have bunkers and make good use of them. I go to back Marshmallow up, and we manage to take down a rushing sock monkey, but not before my friend goes down. I try to prepare for the next enemy, but I clearly get outplayed by Catwoman. Our football player goes down again, and Axolotl dies standing in an open field, netting us yet another 7th place finish. I think what hurt most about this one is you can see that I am just so rusty and out of it and panicking that I can't capitalize on my positioning or help my team clutch up at all. Feeling down about my performance, I decided to log off for the day. But I wouldn't return to Fortnite OG the next day, or the day after that. At this point, my fire felt completely snuffed out. I had tried to play well, but even with the help of my teammates, my lack of skill was causing me to choke. Maybe I needed to put more time into the main battle royale, or try to wake up early to get in more hours in OG. Maybe I needed to practice more in training maps. But with my full-time career and all of my other responsibilities, it just seemed so hopeless. I only have so many hours I can play a week, and it's just starting to feel like I don't have enough time to really improve. I don't know. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is as far as my Fortnite OG Season 2 journey goes. I sort of just accepted that this may not be something I could do, that I might have to reach out to you guys and let you know that I had to give up on this series. I took some time away. I played some other video games and spent time with my family. Work has been crazy busy lately, but at least that offered a good distraction as well. I took time to myself when I could, listening to music that I enjoy and working out, trying to relax and find ways to let my brain recoup. I walked my dog, read a book, and drank some tea. All things that have nothing to do with Fortnite, but in some small way, it felt like everything I did was clearing my mind and allowing me to focus better. Before I knew it, I had that itch to dive back into the game. Playing Lawless first, and while I enjoyed the new season and what it had to offer, in the back of my mind I knew I had unfinished business. There was something deep down, a small little ember that still remained, a feeling that wouldn't let me just stop here and give up. I looked at the footage from my last few OG games and the footage I'd recorded since Lawless dropped. If I could just find a way to translate what I did in the main mode over to OG, I knew that I could play better. I knew that I would have a better chance of contributing to my team and possibly even winning. I knew what I needed to do to fulfill my destiny with this challenge. And with a deep breath and some determination, I logged back in, put on that familiar pink skin, and swapped over to the OG playlist. Alright, let's do this. Well, Game 9 is off to a great start. Right off the bat, we only have 3 teammates. That is just wonderful. I don't know how we're still having an issue filling a full team of 4 in a video game in the year of our Lord 2025, but here we are, I guess. I don't want to leave my teammates in an even worse position, so I decide to resist the urge to leave and re-queue. Hopefully our terrific trio can pull off the win even though we're down a player. The boys want to drop Twisted, so I guess we're dropping Twisted. I try to push out any doubts in my mind as we freefall and focus up. I need to change my approach. Be decisive. Be confident. And if I make mistakes, I need to be okay with that and move past them, not letting them affect my gameplay. From this point forward, this is a new, fresh start. This is just the beginning of my story. I managed to get a few weapons and a shield off drop. This should help me get a leg up on anyone I come across in the early match, if I can play it right. I spot another Catwoman running nearby and drop down behind her, landing this absolute juicer of a shotgun blast. I rushed to follow up, getting right peeked in the process, but I managed to tank the damage thanks to my shields and knock her down. Even though I know this isn't the same Catwoman who killed me in the last game, I take this as a sign that things are changing from this point forward. This is a new beginning. This, my friends, is where I rise. I link up with Little Creep in time to take down another player, and I score a Chug Jug from the enemy we killed. Creep gets knocked, but Collateral is there to finish up the enemy, and we both start reviving. Even though we're down a teammate, we are working together well, and we are trying to stick together, which is great. As long as we don't lose somebody else, I think we're going to be in a pretty good position to perform well this game. I use a shield potion and let Little Creep take the Chug Jug so he can recover his shields as well. After some looting, another enemy walks into Tilted, so we take him down and begin to move out towards the west. I find a blue AR at a nearby building, and we use a rift to rotate over Loot Lake further into zone. we ride a zipline up with our buddies to high ground, and after scouting the area for a bit, we see some enemies in the distance. Might as well take some time and see if we can get some tags from a distance, and I surprise myself by scoring a knock. This may not feel like much to some of you mega Fortnite gamers out there, but for me, just last season, I would have never been able to land shots like this. So I'm going to take this moment to be proud of myself, okay? We eventually spot other enemies in the distance by the factory near Dusty Depot, so we descend from our lofty position to rotate that way using a nearby rift. On the way, I pick up a purple silenced pistol, which may have been a mistake, but my thinking at the time is it may have helped more than having double shotties if we get into a firefight. At least this way I'll be able to follow up a big hit with another spray weapon if my AR needs to be reloaded. Little Creep is behind enemy lines trying to flank, and as I make my way to the fight, I'm getting shot at from some enemies in the distance. I take cover near Collateral as Little Creep goes down. Bummer, man, but that's okay. We can reposition and grab his, card. So now, in a game where we started with only 3 of our possible 4 teammates, our third has left, meaning that not only do Collateral and I need to clutch up to get out of this situation we're in currently with at least 2 separate groups of enemies shooting at us, but we then need to take out teams of 4 by ourselves for the rest of the match if we even want a chance of winning. This is just wow. We push up, trying to take advantage of whatever damage Little Creep did before he bailed on us. We engage as the enemies far off to the east are still trying to shoot at us. We manage to land a few hits on a slippery enemy Cuddle Team specialist before All Might lets his minigun absolutely spray. Collateral manages to take him down, and I know that we need to watch our back, turning just in time to see my evil twin double back into the battle. I use my right peek advantage to take him down and dip into cover to try and reload my weapons. As I do, some stray gunfire from the far-off player takes Collateral down through the chain link fence. My first instinct is to pick him up, but I know that if I was the other player that just scored a knock, I would be rushing in to try and press the remaining players. I wait, and sure enough, they emerge. After a tense exchange of gunfire, I manage to come out the victor. Holy crap. I know this may not seem like much, but believe me when I tell you that my adrenaline was at an all-time high. The combination of my teammate just leaving at the first sign of trouble and Collateral and I having to fight a battle from like 3 different fronts was just too intense. As I heal up and loot, coming down from the rush, I can't help but feel proud of myself. I wouldn't have been able to clutch up like that or make tactical decisions like that even a few games ago. So I start to get like this little sense of pride, you know? Collateral and I may have the odds stacked against us as we still have a long way to go. But even if we can't pull off the dub being down 2 players, I know that this is a game where I can be proud of my performance. All I can do from this point forward is give it my all and put trust in my teammate. I try to use a campfire or launch pad I had picked up, but I'm still doing something wrong. Hopefully we don't end up needing them this match because I just can't figure this stuff out. We move out from the factory area with a blue AR, a blue TAC, a minigun, some bunkers, and shields. This seems like a pretty balanced loadout to me in the moment, having a couple of spray weapons, a chunky shotgun, and some utility items. And I'm hoping my instincts help us do the best we can this match. I haven't really used the minigun up to this point, but based on how intimidating it was in that last fight, I figure it might be useful. We head into Dusty Depot, and as we cross one of the warehouses, Collateral gets into a gunfight. He manages to get the knock, and I wait to see if another enemy is nearby waiting to rush us. I secure his elimination and check the nearby loot. A sniper drops, and I debate taking it for a second, but my recent sniping escapades have been questionable at best, so I decide to stick with my current loadout. We check back to see where the enemy died, and sure enough, his teammates are moving in to grab his reboot card and get revenge. I try to put pressure on the enemies with the minigun, but after it is clear that this isn't going to work from range, I run back for the sniper rifle. Collateral manages to get a knock, and I wait for one of the other enemies to leave cover. Once they do, I manage to pull off a decent little shot, if I do say so myself, and get a knock as well. The last enemy is exposed, and we managed to take them down as well. Once again, we managed to defy the odds, overcome death, and beat a full team by fighting tactically. It's at this point that I realize there are less than 10 players remaining this match, which gets my heart pounding once again. Can this really be happening? After all these times I choked, all these times I swapped to the wrong weapon or missed shots or threw healing items at the enemy, has being in this underdog position with only one other teammate forced me to get it together? Can I possibly defy all odds, overcome all adversity, and get my first OG Season 2 win this game? We move out cautiously, constantly scanning our surroundings for other players. We go for a supply drop, keeping our eyes peeled. And even though I just had a bad experience, I elect to take the epic minigun instead of my shotgun. I really hope I don't come to regret this. We also pick up a chug jug that Collateral didn't want. There's another supply drop nearby, so we head that way because if we're being honest, with all the other potential teams left in this game, with more players, we need every advantage we can get. I managed to pick up a legendary AR, creating the most stacked loadout I have ever seen, before I spot the glint of a scope in the distance, and a shot rings out. We have been spotted. I throw down my bunker so that I can get out of the water that limits my movement, and try to return fire on the enemy. No luck, and I get shot by another player. Collateral is moving wide, and I line up my scope where that second player was shooting me from. And this time, I connect. As I look back to where the first enemy was again, my heart breaks as I get downed from one shot from nearly full health. I ping the enemy so that Collateral knows that we have company, and I try to move towards him. An enemy on the nearby cliff is trying to finish me off, but thankfully the lake is obscuring my position. My heart is racing. I try to make my way to the second bunker my teammate threw down, and as I do, the player on the cliffs tries to push. I watch, in a combination of horror and awe, as Collateral battles with this enemy, eventually scoring the knock. But the far-off enemy that sniped at me isn't so far off anymore. I swing out of cover so I can at least try to be useful by pinging the position of the threat for my teammate. Collateral calmly reloads like the cold-blooded badass he is. And before I can even really tell what is happening, the enemy tries to advance and gets silenced with one swift, close-range sniper shot. I crawl into cover, and after I'm revived, I realize that I can now, for some reason, drop the campfire. I still don't get the logic for how this item works, but I drop it so I can slowly start healing as I use my chug jug. Not a moment too soon either, as the storm has closed in on our position. It's just us and one other player left at this point. And to be completely honest with you guys, I am spent. I am losing it. My nerves are shot. I have pulled off more in this one match than I ever thought I could, and before I even know it, we crest a hill and that last remaining player takes shots at Collateral. But he must not have known that you don't take shots at the king if you're gonna miss. Against all odds, and admittedly with the help of the best teammate I have had since playing this game, we were able to pull off the win. And while I didn't get the last kill, I am still extremely proud of how I played this game. We did it. So, that's it. We're done. The prophecy has been fulfilled. I claimed my dragon-hearted Brella and savored the sweet taste of victory. When I think back to where I started when I first picked up this game last season, I can't help but feel some small sense of pride. I am not the best, and I don't think I ever will be, but I have done a lot to grow and improve my game sense. Every day, I lose a little bit of that panic that filled my heart when I got into a gunfight. Each confrontation, my aim gets steadier under pressure. With each repetition, my knowledge improves. With each drop, my strength increases. I have overcome the odds and will continue my journey towards becoming the warrior I was meant to be. No longer shall I be a terrified newbie,
hiding in the corner of a house. This journey has hardened me, pressed out my weaknesses and covered my resolve in steel. I am no longer a cuddly teen boy. No, I am something more now. Something different. Something powerful. A conqueror. Fortnite OG Season 2 has brought out the true hunger that only endless battle can hope to satiate. This blood sport will continue on. And thinking back over all the past wars I've waged, all of the struggles I've overcome, all of the hours I've put in so far, I look upon my kingdom from my gilded throne and declare my final verdict.
It's pretty alright. I mean, honestly, I think that a big part of Season 2 was the nostalgia, and as a new player, I just don't have that aspect. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my time and doing iconic things like dropping into Tilted Towers and using some of the items in the OG loot pool was great. But now that I've completed this challenge, I don't really see myself going back to play OG nearly as much as I thought I would when this season first came out. I think that for what it is, OG Season 2 was a great step forward, and I definitely had more fun with it than I did OG Season 1. But I don't think that it can really hold my attention in the long run. The current live game with Chapter 6 Season 2 has so much more to offer me personally, and I feel like I just want to be able to fully immerse myself in that for right now. It's fun to do the over-the-top monologue stuff, and sometimes I really do feel like I'm riding that high, but in reality I know I'm still not the best at the game. And you know what? That's okay. I'm just trying to have fun being competitive, and that's what's most important to me. I am really enjoying my time with Fortnite. I'm still having a great time with my OG journey, and I will definitely check out OG Season 3 when that launches. I'm excited to see what that season has to offer me, so be sure to subscribe if you have not already so you can see my thoughts when that drops. While you're down there, please consider leaving a like on this video if you liked it, and if you made it this far, let me know your favorite drop spot in OG Season 2 in the comments below. This video took a lot of work to put together, so helping me battle the algorithm by leaving a like and a comment would be really appreciated. Thanks so much for that. But with all that said, I'm off to continue practicing my Fortnite fundamentals. And as always, make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends.